Okay, guys, if you can't hear me at any point, just chat and I'll let Stacy take over because she knows everything anyways. But I just want to say thanks for joining us tonight. It's October 7th. There's less than 90 days left, but I'm excited for the end of the year. So a couple things for this month, just like they're on the team calendar that we posted last week. But we are doing a coaching sneak peek on Thursday. And we did one on Instagram over the weekend, so you can still refer people to that. But I kind of just say, like, if you have been posting about coaching, invite the people that are responsive to those posts, of course, to join us. And then if you have other people that were kind of like on your dream team list, if you will, those are going to be people that you want to invite too. And it'll be really casual. We'll probably ask a few of you if you want to talk and just give, like maybe your coaching experience so far and like maybe what your hesitation was or, what you found since joining and just try to give like a variety of stories, essentially. I think stories are what resonate with most people. And if we can make it just a 1-day group with a little bit of info that's like, obviously about coaching and income and stuff like that, but then make it more about our team, then I think that is going to be awesome. And so hopefully some of you can just pop on and go live for like 5 to 10 minutes and share. And if you commit to going live in the group, you probably are going to make more of an effort to invite to it. So I would just use it as an opportunity to like go live and get the experience and go live and tell your story. And it makes it easier for you next time you decide to do it too. So that is going to be on Thursday. The other thing that I was on a Fit and Fierce call about today is that I think they're going to open a Fit and Fierce Instagram page and try to do like almost every other week coaching sneak peek type events, and then have certain coaches do like a takeover on the stories, and you share your story and you share like what brought you to coaching. And so that's something that we might ask, like, if you guys want to contribute to too. And if they do theirs like more ongoing than we do on our Instagram page, then it's totally something we can use and add people to if they're interested in coaching, have them follow along with that, and of course get more just more of a peek into our team that way, because the benefit obviously on being on a bigger team is you'll have more people that can resonate with maybe people that you're talking to. So that is maybe being discussed for the week of the 14th, which will be next week. And I think if we do it next week, it'll be like some of us that were at leadership this weekend. So you can still, like, if you have people that say yes this weekend and our live group on Facebook has gone away, then you can always invite to that too. So I'll make sure to share the Fit and Fierce Instagram info with you once that gets set up. And what they'll do is, like, if you're the one who's doing like a coach takeover, you'll end up going in the highlights as like a featured coach for the team. And it makes it easier for you, I think, to invite to that page ongoing if that's something that you want to volunteer for too. Then the week of the 21st, we're going to have like a free crock pot group. I don't know that we've really nailed out a ton of details. I have a couple different scripts that we can use. In the past, when we've done this, we've done like a crock pot and squats or like some sort of fitness, like free challenge with it. If you guys want to do that, let me know. I kind of like maybe type it in the chat right now and say if you prefer that, because I know not everyone will go onto BOD and activate a free trial. And if you feel like that makes it easier for you to invite to, like saying we've got a fitness component too, then we can expand it into that. It's really easy just to throw in some daily challenges, and I think it makes it a little bit more engaging too. So my thought would be we should do it, but of course, I don't know if you want to do squats or some other theme. Then the week of the 28th, we're going to do a work couples challenge. You don't have to be a couple to do this, but it will just have more male engagement. So you can obviously use it to invite males too as well. And the work is, of course, 6 weeks. So that will go on for 6 weeks. If it's a hit and it's something that we want to repeat, we can do that. We don't have to. We can just kind of figure it out and see how it goes. And then, of course, like Morning Meltdown 100 is now available on BOD. If you're going to keep doing that, feel free to keep inviting to that. If you feel like you want to make more of like a nutrition refocus and you want to start back like a focus on Ultimate Portion Fix, we've still got that group going on. I kind of like, I don't want to overwhelm people and say invite to everything, but pick what you're doing, pick what appeals to you, and use that as like your first, priority to invite to. And I also saw some ladies in our Morning Meltdown 100 group say they wanted to do a 3-day refresh today. I think that Kristen posted it. She's a discount coach. But if that's something that you have people that you think you want to invite to too, we could obviously support the like challengers in there that want to do that and run another 3-day refresh group. I think it's a good idea if we wanted to do it actually after Halloween. Like run a team one, but obviously there's a lot of stuff going on the calendar right now. And then, of course, if there's anything else you think of that you want to run a group around, if you want to run a free group that's a different theme or anything like a new challenge group or something like that, we're here to support. I'm sure there's somebody else that would want to team up with you and do it. So don't feel like you have to do exactly what the team has like endorsed, but it's there obviously to help make things easier for you. And then on the free group front, if you want, it's always a good idea to add the option for them to purchase Shakeology if they really want to see major results with it. And you can sell Shakeology packets that way if you have them. If you don't have them, I do. I'm sure Stacy does. I'm sure Amanda does in the packets. And you can sell like 5 packets for $25 or something like that. And then that gives them basically like the meal plan they can use. And then they've got an added meal and the Shakeology. So it's an easy way to use packets if you have like them coming in through a spouse account, or if you want to set up a spouse account with packets. So that's kind of the like team logistics. I also posted today that stories that stick. I went to a call. I think a couple of other ladies, Amanda did, maybe Megan Solonic, with the author of that book like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And she was really engaging and energetic and really fun. And I think that would be kind of a cool book to do next. That maybe gives us opportunity to bring in the business, but also just kind of like, work on ourselves together. And when we've done book clubs in the past, we've just kind of like had a 30-minute call once a week. And we've covered however many chapters make sense. So I downloaded the book today and I'll start going through it and kind of come up with the format for that. But if you do want to participate in that, you can buy the hard copy book. It's on Amazon for like $23. To save money, I just did the iPhone book and it was $15. And then I think the Kindle version was $15 too. And then of course you could always do audio, but audio is kind of hard when you do a book club, I think. So that's that. Obviously this call, like the topic was just team hangout. And we kind of wanted to just go through some of what we covered this weekend in Destin at the leadership retreat and talk about the opportunity maybe to do some social media audits for people. So the biggest takeaway I had really was Doug from corporate came in and he just said, most people that see some success in this business or seeing some traction often just need like one tiny tweak in their business. Maybe it's just the words that they're using in their posts and it can change the nature of their business. And he said that's exactly what happened with Megan Ewolton, who's one of our uplines. And she went from like coach to 5-star diamond in a year and then jumped up to 15-star diamond really quickly. And really the one thing that was missing in her post was the expectation that her new coaches commit to helping 3 people a month and actually do it. So like that language is being left out and it was a lot of fluffy coaching posts. And, it kind of made Stacy and I start talking about this, like,
Sarah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Rewind yourself a little bit because you blinked, like I almost went to fill in the blank for you. Like you froze for a little bit and you said one thing she needed to change was, and then you blinked out for a good while. So they didn't hear it. So I was just saying, like, read them about
if my service is spotty, do you just want to take over?
That was the first time it's happened. I mean, I was going to fill in, but then right when I finally got it to talk, you started again. So,
okay.
So
basically what Doug was saying is that he mentored Megan whenever she kind of like started jumping through the ranks, and that the shift in her business came when she really changed the nature of her social media posts and started including in her coaching posts, you have to commit to helping 3 people a month to join the team and kind of setting the expectation at the outset. And so I think with a lot of us, obviously, 1, we probably don't post about coaching enough. And then 2, when we do, it probably is a little more open-ended and that no expectations are really set there to kind of like almost give that sort of expectation when they come in to even have the conversation. And we have a lot of coaches who join our team for the community and maybe don't necessarily know what to do on the business side. But if we started kind of changing the nature of our conversations with them to set the expectations at the outset, we are automatically adding coaches to our team who have that sort of desire to grow right off the bat. And they know that there's an expectation, And that's really the foundation to see success, like from an income perspective too, is at least 3 customers a month. And that's why Success Club exists. It's just a new coach is not going to know what Success Club means. They're not going to know what being an Emerald coach means. They're not going to have any clue what Diamond means. So you really have to start talking in terms of like 3 people a month. You'll start by covering the cost of your Shakeology, because that's the goal, right? Like we kind of fall in love with the product. And then we're like, okay, well, I think I could see myself sharing this with other people, but I have to make it add value for me first. So let me cover the cost of that first. Then I'll start seeing income that grows on top of it. And then I can show people that I'm asking to come into the business, like, here's the natural progression, right? Like, I think some of us, obviously, am I breaking up again? You go Stacy. Oh, now you're on mute. You're on mute, Stacy.
What? Okay, something popped up on my screen. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Now, I was saying I was reading about the whole journal thing that you talked about. You were doing that so well, so you keep up. And then I'll just talk about the journal thing. Sarah.
I'd muted myself so you could talk. Okay, so that was kind of like the real like big takeaway on my end in terms of just maybe we can actually dig in with each other and start to do just like quick social media audit calls and run through your recent posts and run through your bio. Maybe even I've done this with a few of you, and just talk about what those tiny tweaks maybe that could be made are to potentially see a huge shift in the responses that you're getting in your posts and in the responses that you're getting in your call to actions, like invites to challenge groups and coaching. And, you know, the next part of what he talked about was like being on offense in your business versus being on defense. And I think this resonates with me a lot, because if you're in the mindset of like recruiting and growing and adding challengers, you're not so worried about like defending your income or defending your rank in the business. And this doesn't make a lot of sense probably at certain levels, but like you get to Emerald and then your next step is you're like, well, I just need to maintain Emerald. When in reality, the mentality should be, I'm going to go Emerald again. I'm going to go Emerald again. And then at Diamond, the same thing. I'm going to go Diamond again. And he says one big pitfall he sees in the business is that a lot of people get to whatever that rank is that they think is like a big accomplishment. And then instead of continuing to grow beyond it, they just work on making sure there's an active person filled into that next spot that's going inactive. Or there's, like basically just some way to maintain that rank. And in reality, everybody's goal for growth purposes should be 2-star Diamond, because that is where you really see an income bump and you can re-sign yourself as a coach essentially and open a second business center. And that's where you do see, a huge growth in your income. And the coaches that he sees that are successful are the ones that have that as their goal versus the ones that are like, my goal is to get to Emerald and start to see team cycle bonuses and kind of maintain that, or play defense, to keep that up. He said, you have to stay in offense in your business and continuously keep that like abundance mindset that I'm finding my next rock star, I'm finding my next coach, I'm finding my next challenger who's going to be the transformation. When Stacy makes weird faces at me, I know it's because I'm like cutting out a little bit, so I'm sorry. And I think that that's something else to keep in mind. It's
Okay.
just like,
she's completely frozen now. He also said, like, if you're that person, like, I feel like it hit me, like, I've just been defending my Diamond. I mean, and I'm for so long, and then now, like, I'm finally starting to build to that 1-star and to 2-star, is to get a journal and just basically write down all the activities you did to get to Emerald. All the activity, like if you're trying to, like you're defending that Emerald, then write all those activities you did for Emerald. For me, it's all those activities I did to get to Diamond. And then once you have those activities written down, just start doing them again and again and again. and it's going to get you to where you were. I feel like we kind of, I don't like, we do things different when you're sitting there defending, like you're trying to push to have that one person to feel, like Sarah said, that inactive coach that's about to knock you down a rank or something. So he was just, and this also like hit me too when he was talking about like this is once we start building like a team, we start just spending all of our time on just building our team and all of our time just on those coaches that we've got that are active, rebuilding, and we stop recruiting. And you're not going to be able to build more building coaches if you're not still spending that time to recruit. So he talked about, he had it like drawn up where like, say you spent, 6 hours. None of us do that. But if we spend 6 hours one day on our team, then you have, 3 hours on recruiting, 3 hours on your team. But that's when you're like at 15 stars. So like for us right now, like we should be spending like almost like 90 to 100% of our time just on recruiting, and then putting just like a little bit of time on that team growth with your own coaches, and leverage off everything that Fit and Fierce gives you, everything that the champions page gives you, like leverage off of that stuff to help your other coaches, and send them the new coach training that they just put on, like the office. Like they took down every old new coach training stuff. It's completely off of your office, and there's a new one now. It's much more simple, easy. Use that business tracker plan. Sarah and I have talked with having a team call with a girl who showed us her awesome. She uses the new business tracker plan, but she has this really cool binder that she's using, that she's made to work on that. And then, but like to, just really keep recruiting. Quit, don't put all of your eggs in one basket and forget about, like, you could be missing that next awesome coach when you're not sitting there recruiting. Anything else you want to add with that, Sarah? Because I know I kind of jumped in on.
No, I put all the notes that I took right here in the.
I think frozen again. Yeah, I just saw something pop up. And you were kind of saying this, like with our new coaches that you sign, like just have them commit to like the first 30 days, just themselves, just doing their workouts, just doing their shakes, doing their nutrition, doing their personal development. And for 30 days, get them results, get them to love, this community product. Let them share randomly little things on social media. Make sure like you reach out to them when you have new challengers, and let them know that they're being leaders. Like address to them, thanks for your leadership on the team page. And if you put that word leadership in there, a lot of people don't realize that when you're consistently posting and you're sharing your struggles and your consistency, then that's leadership. That's motivating. That's encouraging others. That's, being a good leader. And they don't see it that way. And when they hear and see that they're being a leader, then they might be more open and to, possibly, like start sharing it with other people when they actually see themselves as a leader. So, praising your challengers more is really good. And your turn, Sarah.
Well, that's like the majority of the notes, honestly, you guys. Like a lot of the day on Saturday was spent, you could ask for a one-on-one if you wanted to talk about how to grow your organization or where to place people, but that's very like person specific. And honestly, a lot of the weekend was just spent like getting to know other people and their stories and seeing their success and talking about, what their struggles are in their business. And I think Stacy and I chatted, like, so many of the people that join in our challenge groups get to see like a little bit of the magic of our communities. But when you go to the Super Saturdays in your area, when you come to Summit, when you get to come to like team events or qualify for these things, like we paid for nothing, you guys, except for alcohol if we wanted it at a restaurant. Like that was all we paid for because of hitting, just like specific goals. Like basically if you hit Success Club and had 4 coaches in your team, if you were at Success Club 10, that's how you got to come. Like it's pretty incredible, that they went to this length and this expense because the house was like crazy. The, amount of food and drinks and stuff that they provided for us was amazing. And then somebody from corporate comes to kind of spoil you. You work out together, you get to know other people. And I think that's the like missing piece for a lot of people, because once you experience it, you're like, man, I've never been around this many people, like women in a house that have no drama whatsoever. It's just all positive, uplifting, encouraging, inspiring, because if you see people that are really successful, you take note of that. And I think sometimes that's like the piece that I just wish people could experience more of, because it's really unlike anything I've ever experienced. And I just would like, and I'm like frozen right now.
I mean, that's the first time I've ever gone to something to where I did not know really. I mean, I knew you and I knew Morgan personally. I barely know Carrie and Megan, but there was so there's like 20 of us. So really only knew 18. I mean, I didn't know 18 people. And I like left feeling like I knew, at least 16 of them very, very well. And I felt like I've known them forever and so welcomed. And I mean, we died laughing playing a game Saturday night. Like I was in tears. Friday night, but I mean, it was just such a good time. And Sarah froze. You there, Sarah?
Yep. Now you're frozen. Oh, Stacy, you muted yourself.
I know. I wasn't talking.
Oh.
I said your turn, but I guess you hear me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, I mean, I think that's really it. I know that the summit tickets are on sale this month. If you guys have the opportunity to come to that or commit to coming to that, it's totally worth it. And the next Super Saturday in your area will be November 2nd. And there's a map like right on the coach office page. You can search it and you can see what your closest Super Saturday is. And I would just encourage you, if you can, it's usually just a couple hours. There's a live workout. There's a video that they play from corporate. It's a great thing for your business, and it's a great thing for you personally because you get to meet other local coaches. And I guess I was asked to speak at the one in Charleston, so if you're close, I'm going to try to make that work. Okay, does anyone have any questions right now?
If any of y'all, I've reached out to like my personally sponsored ladies on doing like a social media, Instagram kind of audit, if you want to call it. Sarah helped me with mine over the weekend. And let Sarah know if you want yours done too. I've started a little bit on my girls and stuff, but remember, it's your storefront. If you make it bright, bubbly, but real, and those first few photos are what people are going to catch their eye about you. So if you need any help with that, we were talking about that too. What's wrong?
I'll post a poll with some time options in the team page for you guys if you want to just jump on a quick call and do an audit. Then I'll set up some times for this week and next week.
If we had, I know I like messaged both you and Stacy about doing like one-on-one about like goals and stuff. I know Stacy's doing my social media audit. Is that something I just need to like reach out to the both of you like in a separate group text message to set up or what?
Yeah, totally.
Thank you.
We can FaceTime again.
Okay, perfect. Maybe I'll call the right Stacy this time.
And I know, Jenna, I saw your message today too, so I'll message you back.
Sounds good. Thank you. I do have one quick question about the free group coming up. So some of my conversations have been kind of letting them know that it's going to be related to like, crock pot recipes, like meal ideas, and then like some workout type stuff. How would you kind of take that conversation and like go into like a bod trial with that?
I would just ask them if they have certain workouts that they want to use along with it, because we will, do a check-in at night asking if they got a workout in. And then if they say no, then you can say, okay, I can send you a trial to, the gym, the virtual gym I use. And I can make specific recommendations on a program for you if you want. It's just, you kind of just have to ask the right questions, I think, to see if that's something that they need or want. And ultimately, if we share like our workouts in there enough, they might just say like, hey, what's that thing you're doing? But it's good to talk to them about it in advance, I think.
Cool. Thank you.
And this is something you guys, like, for a free group, if you've talked to people about joining us and they've ghosted you or said it was too much money or anything, I would go back to them and invite them to this. If you have people in your life that like, are working on goals, it's such an easy thing to invite people to. I do have one last tip if I don't freeze up too much. So I was talking to a coach this weekend that was there, and she is a veterinarian in this tiny town in Louisiana. She's been one of my coaching friends for several years. And we were just talking about where she gets the majority of her customers. And she is in a veterinarian moms group on Facebook. And that's literally where she gets most of the customers that she helps every single month. And I was like, well, I'm a member of this Peloton Law Moms group where it's literally like, I don't know, thousands of attorneys that ride the Peloton. I have the app. I don't actually have the bike, but I see them posting there all the time that they struggle with nutrition. And so I posted in there today. I was like, posted a picture of my food, and I said, my nutrition has been crap. Like, I know I see a lot of ladies in here struggle with nutrition accountability. Would anyone want to do like a little thread for accountability? And I've gotten 30 responses saying yes. And like, so I just opened a group, like a Law Moms Nutrition Accountability group. And there's already like 23 people in it just today. And I'm not going to like sell a bunch of Beachbody in there, but I'm going to share my recipes and then maybe connect with these ladies, become friends with them. And, maybe they see what I do and they're interested in a nutrition plan or something. And I just want to encourage you to maybe think outside the box, because I feel like we get so overwhelmed with Instagram posting and then Facebook posts not going anywhere. There's probably some sort of group out there on Facebook. Don't go to like the Instant Pot 10,000 people. Like, you're not going to get real connections that way. But something that's more like specific for your lifestyle. Like, if you follow Dave Ramsey, there's like a Dave Ramsey budget-friendly recipes group if nutrition's your thing. If you are like a law enforcement officer's wife, I know Brandolyn, I see you post that a lot, and I think that's like a community-driven, like, and maybe it's like Leo Wives of Colorado or something, maybe you find something like that. And try to maybe see how you can make more genuine connections with people that are strangers but have like some sort of commonality that you find through groups. And I'm sure that it kind of changes the way that you view like where you're making new connections. I think it just kind of dawned on me that I was overlooking this potential, way to chat with people about something that's like an immediate need. And a lot of people use these groups, and I'm sure that whatever your life scenario is, there's something out there that could fit that. And if you start, like I just was looking at like Peloton moms, and then of course all the suggested groups come up, and the law moms came up, and I was like, yeah, that's me, whatever. And it seemed so obvious once I talked to her this weekend. And I was like, I'm just not even using that page, totally overlooking it. I don't know. Just something to think about. That's the nice thing about connecting with other coaches, because everybody works their business so differently. Any other questions? And maybe we could set up a team call with Jessica too, because she's done that really well, and she's in this tiny, tiny town. The last thing I was going to say is there's this guy that does like these local boot camps, and he gets Beachbody coaches to run them. And he's not Beachbody, but it's called Empower Fitness. And like 3 of the coaches that were there this weekend are like boot camp instructors for this guy, and they really just do like 2 boot camps a week for an hour at a time. And it's like a community driven thing, and they teach in like a park or like a church gym or something like that. And he doesn't have like a clause saying you can't mention Beachbody if they want more help. And so Jessica and Carrie, who's one of our uplines, and maybe Morgan do this, and they have gotten a lot of customers that way too. So if you're interested in like teaching fitness or hosting like a local boot camp or meetup, and you don't have to be a group fitness instructor for it, he gives you ideas of things that you can do. And I mean, if you just want more connection too, you earn income from the boot camps because you get a percentage of like people coming, and then you also make more contacts of, potential people who might want to join your boot camp. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I messaged him today because I talked to him like 6 months ago, but I couldn't see anybody in Missouri on this base. Like maybe it would have worked, but there was like a competing like boot camp thing going on there. But where we are now, it's much more like a, just an open community, so it could work here. So I messaged him and asked if he had availability or need here. But I wanted to put that out there because I know some people are really into like the actual fitness side of things more, and it could be a good opportunity to grow. That's all I got. Stacey, anything else?
Sorry, I'm good. No, I don't think so. Sorry, the dog just pawed everything off the shelf at me. What does he have? My pen? Please have my pen. Sorry. No, you called me in not the greatest moment there. No, I mean, you covered like everything I had down, except for the commission plan stuff that Doug talked about, but that's like per person and for a totally different call and one-on-one. So, no, I think that's good.
Okay. That's it, y'all. I see there's a lot more people on now that Bachelor in Paradise is over. Some people understand what I'm talking about. All right, well, I might go to sleep for real, but 5 a.m. today was struggle city.
See you tomorrow?
Yeah.